Okay, now let's turn our attention to adjectives. You've obviously done plurals and you know some conjugation. So now let's try to add some more color to the nouns. Okay, so how can we say a big room, a small car, a fast girl? All of these ideas will be covered here. Okay, so let's start with the masculine form. And as you know, we will refer to this quadrant. The good thing about adjectives is it's much more logical than the plurals. So the masculine singular form sits here and you know it has an "a" ending. So let's see how we can use adjectives which have an "a" ending. Let's focus on ladka, which you know is a boy, and lamba ladka means a tall boy. So the word lamba means tall. Lamba means tall. And note that the lamba "a" ending agrees with the "a" here. It actually agrees with the ladka as well. So lamba, this ending part has to agree with this because this is a masculine singular word. So lamba ladka. Okay, let's try one more. Black dog. The word black is kala, and kutta you might already know is dog. So kala kutta, remember again over here, you've got kala kutta because this "a" agrees with this "a" over here for the dog, for the singular masculine form. Now let's look at the feminine form, which ends with E. So of course you're going to have lam bi ladki. Do you see what I did here? I just made all of them E because this is the feminine singular. So lambi ladki of course means a tall girl. Let's try one more. Patla ladka. Patla ladka means a thin, a skinny boy. A thin boy. Okay, a thin boy or a skinny boy. Now how can you say patla ladka? How can you say a skinny girl? Of course, you're going to make this patli ladki. Easy, patli ladki. And then the grammar is going to be as simple as before. You want to say, let's say you want to say one tall boy sees a movie or something, right? One tall boy sees. So how can you say that? Ek lamba ladka movie dekhta hai. Right? This part I think you know, but the more important part is lamba ladka. Now, how can you feminize this? One tall girl sees. Okay, this becomes, yeah, try it if you'd like. Lambi ladki movie dekhti hai. So lambi over here, ladki movie dekhti hai. This is because you're working over here. This part is what you're focusing on. So ek lambi ladki movie dekhti hai. Okay, this is actually easy because the lambi part and the dekhti will always match because both the dekhti forms the conjugation of this verb and then the lambi, this part over here, the agreement is always the same. So lambi and dekhti will always be the same. This might change a little bit because we have those different rules for nouns, but lambi, the adjective, dekhti will always be the same. Now let's look at the plurals. Okay, so the plural of "a," of course, is "a" here. So this would mean multiple masculines or mixed group. So of course, how can you say tall boys? So you got lamba ladka, which is tall boy, and how can you say tall boys? You'll say lambe ladke. So that will mean tall boys. Okay, lambe ladke would mean tall boys. So of course, a sentence practice for you would be the tall boys read a book. So see if you can try it. The answers will be in the comments, but try it out. Tall boys read a book. How can you say this one? Okay. Now, of course, let's go for the feminine plural. The feminine plural, E, remains E with a slight nasalization, but we can ignore the nasalization for now for speed. So E remains E. So there's not much of a change for the adjectives. It's much easier. So you would say lambi ladki. That would mean a tall girl. But then if you want to say tall girls, it would still be lambi, but this would of course become ladkiya, like we've done in the previous, just the session before this one. Lambi ladkiya would mean tall girls. And of course, try to make a sentence here. Let's say you want to say the tall girls go to the park. Okay, the word for go is ja. So see how you can say the tall girls go to the park. Remember, both the tall word and the go conjugation, both of these, the tall conjugation and then the go conjugation, both of them will agree with this E form, right? This E conjugation over here. So that's the hint for you. So post your answer in the comments. Now, there are certain adjectives, and we don't need to focus too much on them. We just need to be aware of these. If they don't have an a or e ending here, they won't be conjugated at all. They won't agree much. So let's say you want to say safed ghoda. That would mean a white horse. Because you don't have the safed da part here, it's just the nature of this adjective. It remains the same, safed ghoda. And then, of course, can you guess what's the feminine form? It wouldn't change either, safed ghodi. Okay, so there are certain adjectives, one of them being this white or safed. It doesn't have any vowel at the end, so it does not change at all. So it just remains the same, safed ghoda, safed ghodi. Let's take a look at these two other examples. You've got red, which is lal. So now try to say, how can you say the red car? And the word for car is gadi. Okay, it will not change. It won't become lali gadi. It'll just remain the same and be invariant. One more word is clean. So these are some three important words here. Clean word is saf. Again, it doesn't have an a or e ending, so it's going to remain the same. So try to pluralize these, masculine, make it masculine, feminine. Try all of these four parts and post your answers. And I will see you in the next session where we're going to understand how do we use my, yours, etc. So an example would be my black dog. You already know black dog is kala kutta. How do you say my? You will say mera. That's also one thing you can remember. Actually, we can do it right now. Mera. So let's say you want to say my brother, for instance. You would say mera bhai. Why are we using mera? Because the gender of bhai is masculine. Meri ma would mean mom. So you would say my mom. Okay, so you will use it this way. Meri mom is my mom. Of course, mom is feminine, so you would use Meri here. And then the last one would be my friends or Mere dost. Of course, my friends here. So this becomes Mere dost, like this over here. Remember, dost is unchanging because of the rule that we've talked about for plurals. The more important part is because those are plurals, you would use Meri, and it's a mixed group of friends. Okay, so with that, we will conclude this session. Remember, we're going to move on to mera, my, yours, theirs, etc. in the next session. Okay, so I'll see you there.